All right, let's just jump right in. When we talk about the future of AI, it's like we're watching two totally different movies play out at the exact same time. On one hand, you've got this insane high-stakes sprint for who's going to dominate the market. And on the other, a super patient, decades-long marathon to completely change society as we know it. The crazy thing is, both are happening right now, and you kind of have to understand both to get what's really going on.
So that really brings us to the big question, right? Is AI this frantic, capitalist speed race just fueled by insane competition and massive piles of cash? Or is it a carefully paced, long-term plan to weave intelligence into, well, every corner of our world? It's a huge question, and the answer, well, it's not as simple as just picking one.
So, to get to the bottom of this, we're going to dig into two really powerful visions that come from two major global reports. The first one is a 2025 trends report from the investors at Bond that gives us a snapshot of the here and now. The second is a 2035 forecast from the tech giant Huawei, and that one lays out a much longer-term vision. Just think of them as two different lenses to look at the same incredible thing.
Okay, so Act 1, the race. This is the story of right now. It's explosive, it's chaotic, and it is unbelievably well-funded. We are talking about breakneck speeds and just truly mind-boggling numbers.
Okay, just to get a sense of the scale we're talking about, look at this number. $212 billion. According to the Bond report, that's what the top 6 U.S. tech companies spent on capital expenditures in 2024 alone. That's a 63% jump in just 1 year. I mean, come on, this isn't just an investment, right? It's a straight-up fire hose of cash pointed directly at building the future, like yesterday. And all that money is fueling growth at a speed we have just never seen before. Get this. According to the Bond team's data, it took the internet 23 years to get to a point where 90% of its users were outside North America. ChatGPT, it did it in 3. Seriously, every single chart in their report, users, revenue, you name it, is just a rocket ship going straight up. The velocity here is just on another level. But here's the catch. This incredible growth comes at an equally incredible cost. So take OpenAI, for example. The Bond report estimates they hit nearly $4 billion in revenue in 2024. Sounds great, right? While at the same time, their compute expenses were estimated to be over $5 billion. This is exactly what a gold rush looks like. Huge revenue, but with a venture capital-sized cash burn to match. In this high-stakes game isn't just happening in Silicon Valley. Oh no, it is a global race. According to data from Yipa, between early 2024 and the spring of 2025, a leading Chinese LLM more than doubled its desktop user share. This isn't just a story about China catching up. It's showing they're becoming a major competitor at a truly shocking speed. And this quote from Meta CTO, which is in the Bond report, just perfectly captures the whole mindset of this race. He says, "The current state of AI is our space race." That says it all. It's a winner-take-all mentality. Falling behind isn't just a business risk. They see it as a geopolitical one. The thinking is that whoever leads in AI will lead the world. Period. Okay, now let's just take a deep breath for a second and totally shift gears. Let's move to the second vision, the marathon. This is the long game, the societal plan. It's the kind of thing you see in forecasts like Huawei's look ahead to 2035. And the vibe here, it's completely different. It's not about explosive growth, it's about this slow, deliberate, systemic change.
So, instead of being obsessed with quarterly user numbers, this vision lays out a roadmap that spans more than a decade. It starts with the foundational AI we have today, then it moves toward this deep industry transformation around 2028, and then it gets us closer to artificial general intelligence, or AGI, which is AI with human-like smarts, by 2032. And the end goal of all of this? Widespread man-machine symbiosis by 2035. So what on earth is man-machine symbiosis? Well, it's a totally different goal than just simple automation. The idea isn't for AI to just do our jobs for us. No, it's a future where AI becomes a true partner, seamlessly boosting our own intelligence, our creativity, and helping us make better, faster decisions. It's all about collaboration, not just replacement. This means the priorities for the marathon are completely different. Instead of focusing on user growth, it's about solving these huge fundamental problems, like the insane amount of energy that AI data centers consume.
It's about rebuilding whole industries like healthcare from the ground up. So we're not talking about a new app to book appointments. Think more like AI models that completely redesign how we discover new drugs. The goal is to weave AI into the very fabric of society and create this coevolution where both we and the AI get smarter together.
Okay, so we've got the 2025 race and we've got the 2035 marathon. Now let's put them side by side, because this is where the tension between these two futures really becomes crystal clear.
This slide just sums it up perfectly. It's a clash of investment philosophies. The 2025 view is all about burning cash, literally spending billions to grab users and capture market share in this ridiculously competitive landscape. But the 2035 view? That's about building systems. It's making patient, long-term investments in core infrastructure to solve fundamental problems that are going to pay off over decades, not quarters.
And that really gets to the core philosophical split here. Is the ultimate goal of AI automation or symbiosis? The race narrative often frames it as automation, right? Replacing human tasks to cut costs and be more efficient, where we're just users of the tool. But the marathon narrative sees it as symbiosis, enhancing what humans can do to solve bigger problems, where the human is actually a partner with the tool.
And look, this isn't just a theory. You can see this building systems idea in action with cold, hard data. This chart, also from that bond report, is absolutely stunning. In 2023, China installed more industrial robots than the rest of the entire world combined. This is a massive, state-level investment in physical infrastructure, a really clear example of a long-term, systemic industrial strategy that goes way beyond just software.
So, we have this frantic race and this patient marathon, but what if they're not actually fighting each other? What if they're really just two parts of the same story? Let's try to put this all together.
You see, here's the key thing to realize. The race and the marathon aren't two different futures that we have to choose between. They're just two different lenses for understanding the full trajectory of AI. One lens shows us the chaotic, competitive, creative energy of this exact moment. The other one shows us the profound, systemic changes that all that energy is setting in motion for the decades to come. So what does this actually mean for us? Well, first, all that cash being burned in the short-term race, that's what's actually funding the breakthroughs that we need for the long-term marathon. Second, the competition between the US and China isn't just about who gets more market share. They're designing two fundamentally different approaches, one driven by the market, one directed by the state. And finally, if you really want to get what's happening, you have to understand both the why now of the race and the what next of the marathon. Let's end with this quote from the bond report because it just perfectly nails the reality of where we are right now. The speculative and frenetic forces are tectonic. It's undeniable that it's game on. The race is real, it's happening now, and its energy is shaping everything. But, and this is the important part, it's just the first act of a much, much larger story. And that leaves us with one final thought. The AI revolution isn't coming, it's already here. And it's being built by both the sprinters and the marathon runners. So the real question isn't which movie we're watching, but with every investment, every line of code, and every choice we all make, which future are we actually building?